Joining us with more on the retail landscape, Jan Kniffen, J. Rogers Kniffen Worldwide CEO. Jan, it's great to see you. So following up on Courtney's point there, how do you see these brands, these retailers managing tariffs right now? And do you think that's going to change going into the holiday season? What should consumers expect in terms of pricing, in terms of inventory selection?
I think Courtney pretty well nailed it. We don't really see a lot getting passed through right this moment. Maybe 40, maybe 50% of what the tariff is gets passed through. But if the average tariff is running 12, 13%, that's on cost, that's not on sales. And so maybe you only have to pass through 4%. And if only half of it gets passed through, you're looking at a couple of percentage points of increase in sales price. And that's kind of what we're seeing out there. And on any given year, you can always see that kind of number. And remember, they can spread this around in the retail world. If you're carrying 250,000 items, let's say, and 100,000 of them are impacted by the tariff, and you spread the tariff over all 250,000, and it was going to be 2% on the ones you had to pass it through on, maybe you're looking at 1%. So there's a lot they're doing there. And remember, too, the supply chain costs have actually fallen versus last year. The price of a container and the cost to ship the container. So that's a little piece you can work with as well. So it's not just what's the factory absorbing, it's what's the supply chain absorbing, it's what the retailer's absorbing, and it's really what the level of the cost really is. And as you said, we do see some, I'm not going to call it cheating, but transshipping goes on out there where a product moves one place and another and maybe avoids part of the tariff. And so you'll see all of that happening because retailers are pretty smart. They do this every year. We've been dealing with tariffs and quotas since I got in the business. That's not new. Just the levels and where they're being hit right now is new. So we know how to do this.
Janet, it's Courtney, and not that you've been in the business for a long time or anything. You're a very young man, so I don't know what you're talking about, but I understand tariffs have been around since the 1930s, well before you. But I am wondering what you think about prices when it comes to the holiday season, because it's always promotional. That's the name of the game, quite literally. So how are retailers going to manage this? I mean, how does that sort of add a wrinkle to how they're figuring this all out?
Well, you were right. Some stuff did come in early, but you didn't see it in inventory levels because every bonded warehouse in the country is full. That doesn't show up in the inventory levels. So we're seeing some of those, I won't call them games, but some of those strategies being played. And so we do have the product in the country. Some of it, as you said, came in early. That's not free, but it's not a big deal, especially when you're getting deals from the factory and you're getting deals on the supply chain. I just don't think you're going to see it. We're seeing inflation in services higher than goods, and we have been for a while. That's not going to be different in the fourth quarter. We're still going to see services inflating faster than goods. When that happens, the consumer looks at the goods pricing and says, this is not so bad. And if we're really only talking about a couple of percentage points, that's almost impossible to see if you're the consumer. And that's all I think we're talking about. So I am not concerned about that part of holiday. I'm more concerned about the ability to spend. I actually think we're still really solid. I think the consumer can spend. I think they've got a job. I don't think we've seen all of that change yet. But if I was going to worry, I'd worry about that side of the equation, not so much the tariffs. We've already figured the tariffs out. I don't think they're going to be a big deal into next year at all. And they weren't a very big deal this year. And I don't think they will be in the fourth quarter.